Charles again. Look at that. It's amazing. The mist was hiding them. We were only sitting about 60 meters that way. Straight into his face, hopefully from this angle. Look at that. Now for those of you that had guessed what they were before we got here, I'm sure you're quite happy to see them. For those of you that didn't guess, we were talking about the Mapogos. These are these male lions we've been talking a lot, or talking about a lot. And this one, just looking at him there from this front view, he's the one they call Mr. T. He's got a little bit of a comic look to him. Look at him from the side there, slightly alternative hairstyle. But if you're a Mapogo lion, no one laughs at your hairstyle. Very lucky for us. They've been in the vicinity the last few days. They killed a buffalo just inside Manyaleti, but just too far north for us to get to, both because we're not allowed there and also signal-wise would have been too far. But it seems they decided to come and lie just on the boundary today, which is a big bonus for us. Exciting and a bit sad morning when we had that lion cub killed by them, and then we saw 4 of them over the course of the morning on a giraffe carcass and moving around. So it's very, very special for me. First time this year, first time since December that I've seen these lions. Look at that face. Oh, beautiful yellow eyes. So Jan knows something. Jan, I'm sure you can hear me, but I'm going to be on the other channel, the Game Drive channel. If you need to talk to me, just call me there. It seems the radio is giving a problem. Two males together there. Fantastic eyes. That's one of the things that struck me about these lions. First time I saw them, a couple of things that came to mind. First off, one was the fact that they all look very lean and fit and like Spartan warriors. And I might from time to time refer to this coalition as the Spartans. That's actually what they were called before they were called the Mapogos. In the south they were known as the Spartan Pride or the Spartan Coalition. So that's one of the things that caught my attention the first time. Very lean, fit, strong looking lions, but also their eyes. They really have got a bit of an extra wild look. Look at those eyes. And again, just seeing them now just reminds me of that. There is something very special about these lions. It's not just by random coincidence that they've cleaned up such a large area. Everything from southern Sabi Sands all the way to the north. They've removed quite a few other male lions. Obviously the size of the coalition, at the moment we're looking at 2 of them, but sometimes they 4. Typically we see 4 of them up in the north here, and even as many as 6 together. So the size has been a big benefit for them, but also I think there's a sheer sort of wild, dominant, tenacious aspect to them that has made them very successful up to now. Let's get a little bit closer. Look at that. Stunning. That's a full belly. Mr. T seems to like walking. Quite often the guys find him up far north into Buffelshoek, so he does seem to cover more ground than the others. Let's have a look at these other two as well. They're also lifting their heads up. Big maned lions. The guy on the right there has got a spectacular mane. Wish I had a camera and get some close-up photos of these guys. Gayan.
Yes, I've got an interesting question from Valerie about Mr. T's mane. She says it seems to be quite lacking. Does this affect his standing with the group? Or affect the chance of mating or finding a mate?
Thanks, Shem Copy. Valerie, it's an interesting question, especially while we're looking at this guy with his awesome mane. The fact that Mr. T doesn't quite have the big mane of the other males in the group probably would affect his mating opportunity to some extent. Again, there can be variables within behavior, but typically research has shown that females normally prefer manes with big manes, males with big manes. There's a lot of similar sounding words in that sentence. So typically females do have a slight preference for bigger maned lions, just because that obviously is a sign of health and virility. But I'm sure he'll get his opportunities as well. And why I say that is that with these specific males, the Mapogos, they've now taken over such a large territory that there's multiple females, multiple prides in it. And like I said earlier, Mr. T does seem to walk around a little bit more than the other males. So in that, you might also find opportunity every now and again. But I would say, if I really had to guess, that he probably gets to, over the next many years of their reign, he will father less cubs than maybe this guy that we're looking at now. Keep in mind, there's obviously, this is actually, it can be a very long discussion, but even if he never gets to mate, and let's say just these two males did almost all the mating and Mr. T never got to actually father cubs, purely by him being part of the coalition, and by him helping them keep an area free of other males, and by that ensuring that lots of cubs grow up, he's still genetically successful. These guys would all be related. Typically coalitions are normally brothers or cousins, so they would normally have the same fathers and maybe different mothers, or even the same mother. So by Mr. T ensuring that the coalition can successfully stay in this territory for a while, he is making sure that at least parts of his genetics are passed on. But again, Valerie, and also for all the rest of everyone that's, I'm sure, fascinated by these lions, unfortunately we get to see so little of them. We normally just get sort of bits of radio talk and a bit of updates from other guys, what they've been up to. So we can't say exactly what the dynamics are of this group. Hopefully over time, over the next few years, we'll be able to have larger access areas so that we can see more consistent behavior from specific animals. Three very lazy lions. So we have to sometimes speculate a little bit relative to the information we have on these lions, and also relative to what lions typically do. But obviously the best way to see is in the end is to be around their behavior when it happens.